Hi, welcome back to Kokoro Yoga Online. I'm Tracey, and today we'll be focusing on core stability and headstand inversion. So let's start nice and easy in child's pose, knees mat width, big toes together, forehead down. And just find some deep, slow ujjayi breaths. Sounds like the ocean. Starting to build heat in the body. Or less of a sniffing sound, a deep, hollow breath. Here you're evening your inhale and exhale as best as possible. And here, no expectation for the practice, but you can set a little goal for yourself or send off some good energy, setting an intention. And if you're not familiar with headstand, maybe this will be a new challenge for you. So just be patient with yourself. Making sure to always move with your breath and rest when you need. Listen to your body. No force or strain. And after a few breaths here, we'll rise to all fours for cat-cow spinal warm-up. As you inhale, belly down, lift your tailbone and chin. Nice back bend. Exhale, curl for cat pose. Tailbone under. Nice way to even the breath here. Inhale, belly down, look up. Exhale, curl. And just take 3 more rounds like that with your breath. Fanning the fingers wide. Feel the webbing of your hand stretch. Last round here. Deep exhale. And we'll press the back into a downward facing dog. And you may need to walk out your knees, warm up your lower body joints. You can shake the head a little, yes and no. Any movement. If you feel pulling in the backs of your legs, you can always bend the knees to lift your hips higher. So you should have a long line of energy from the tailbone through the wrists, straight spine. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Press the floor away. Nice and easy. We'll walk the feet to the back of the wrists. Feet hips width. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. 2 more like that. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Lots of breathing already. Find that nice even rhythm. Really important for our inversions. We'll inhale, stand tall, arms overhead, palms together. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Close the eyes, take a few deep breaths. Just centering here. And you even want to feel this in the headstand. Strong feet. Notice I lift the toes here. As you lift your toes, it helps to engage the arches of the feet. Neutral pelvis, shoulders back. And a nice lifted heart. So open the eyes. We'll take a nice side bend. Reach for your left wrist, left palm up and over to the right side. Nice little stretch out for your lats or the sides of the waist. Switch sides, grab the right wrist. Just a nice easy stretch here. One more breath, pull. Hips go right, come back to center, hands on your glutes, easy back bend. Chin down, still warming up. If your chest goes parallel or lower with the floor, then you can start to drop your head back. This shouldn't change your breath at all. If it does, just look forward past the nose. On an inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the palms, walk to plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists, fingers fan wide. We'll lower halfway down. If that's too much, you can go all the way to your belly. Inhale through a back bend, tops of the feet press down, arms straight. Or the modification is cobra, hips down, bent elbows. Curl your toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. A few breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale, the right leg lifts, step forward, high crescent pose, arms overhead. Warming up the lower body here, spine long. You can take a little back bend here, more challenge. We'll twist to the right, left elbow, outer right knee, inhale length. Exhale, revolve. And release the hands to the inside of the right foot, widen your right foot, right side of the mat, and lower the left knee. Maybe keeping the arms straight here or bend the elbows. The forearms might come down. If not, no, that's not the goal of the pose. Long spine here. Maybe forehead to thumbs if you're on your elbows today. We'll re-engage the back leg, curl left toes under, left knee lifts. Lean your weight, right foot, left hip higher. We'll bring the left knee down. Rise to your palms. Hamstring stretch, toe heel your right foot in, straighten the leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And you can bend that right knee as much as you need. Connection of the belly and thigh. Fold. Some reaching the crown of the head for the toes. The toes are flexing back. If this is a bit much on your back knee modification, you can also sit towards your heel. We'll re-bend the right knee. Palms plant. Step to high plank. Lower halfway or all the way. Inhale through a back bend. Up dog into your down dog. Other side, left leg lifts. Step forward. Stay on the ball, the right foot. Set up. You can go hands on hips. Once you feel really strong and stable, the arms lift. You can stay here, add your back bend. I'll bring the hands to prayer. Twist the other way. Right elbow, outer left knee. Nice little pops in the spine. Warming up. We'll place the hands on the inside of the left foot. Widen your stance. Right knee down and arms straight, or bend your elbows. Maybe the forearms lower. Wherever you go here, your shoulders are level with the floor. So elbows are even. You can lift your back knee. Curl right toes, right knee lifts. A nice time to close the eyes even. Listen to the sound of your breathing. And really, the breathing is the most important part of your yoga practice. We'll lower the right knee, rise to the hands, toe heel that left foot in, and straighten the leg as far as it goes. If you need to keep a big bend in the knee, that's fine. Belly flush with the thigh, chest, knee, forehead drops towards your shin. If you need to, again, you can sit towards your right heel. That's more or less to release strain from the back knee. Also nice to do if it's a tough reach to the floor. One more breath here. And we'll rebend that front knee, plant the palms, step back to your plank. Vinyasa, lower halfway. Inhale through your back bend. And exhale to your dog. We'll walk the hands towards the back of the mat, hands towards the feet. Nice way to strengthen your upper body. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold in. And we'll step onto the palms. Toes up towards the wrists. Lean forward, pull. And again, you may need to bend your knees. Belly flush with your thighs. And the reason for that is to keep the lower back very long. So the goal, not straight legs in your forward bends, but upper lower body connect. One more breath here, and we'll release. You can uncurl if you don't have low back injury. If you do have low back injury or any sensitivity, the knees are bent. Lead with the heart and slowly rise to standing with the feet hips width. We'll place the hands back to your glutes. Or if you need a deeper back bend, I like to walk the hands down the backs of the legs. So it adds a deeper back bend without the intensity of your arms over your head. You can also go there if you prefer. Lift the chest as you go back, just like you're rounding over a wall behind you. One more breath here. And we'll inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Again, belly to your thighs. Soften the knees. Inhale, look up. Walk your hands forward. High plank pose. And lower halfway. Inhale through a back bend. Exhale, down dog. Still warming up, we'll take some warrior postures. Right foot forward, back heel plants. Arms overhead. Fingers fan wide. Front knee bends 90. Press through the outer blade of your back foot. Look up. We'll interlock the fingers behind you. Lift the heart. Look up again. From your back bend, fold humble warrior. You can go belly to thigh, gaze ahead. Nice modification if you want to take it further. Right shoulder inside the knee and you're curling your spine. Reach the top of your head down for the floor. And we'll open the arms, warrior two. Back foot can widen towards parallel with the short edge of the mat. Nice long stance here, front knee 90. We'll reverse the warrior, left hand back leg, right arm overhead. Can look for your back foot, it's a little more stable. Check out your alignment. Outer edge foot parallel and rooted to the floor. Extended side angle pose, right elbow on your quadricep. Press the elbow down. The right palm faces up. Left arm at 45 degrees. And notice from the left heel through the left fingers, long line of energy. If you want to take this further, you can also reach this right hand for the floor on the fingertips, or the palm will eventually go flat. Fingertips align with the toe tips. We'll twist the other way. Left palm down, pivot your left heel off the floor. You may have to widen that right foot. So your feet are hips width apart, right arm lifts. We'll work our way into a side plank, building strength. Spin outer edge of your left foot. Options, right foot on left. So this is going to be a little bit more challenging. If this is too much, options are right foot crosses in front, or even easier than that, bottom knee down. This is super stable. If it's all right for you, you're stacking your ankles, right hip forward, look up. A little more strength, building the core. Lift your top leg, right arm overhead. Check out your right hand. Lots of core stability for our headstand later. Right palm lowers, and we'll take a vinyasa from here. lower halfway, or all the way. Inhale through your back bend. Exhale through your down dog. Other side. Left foot forward, back heel plant. So you can always step the foot forward first and then plant your back foot. I'm just throwing in a little bit of style from Ashtanga lineage. So you're super light on your feet, and that's building core stability too. So really always working your core as you step forward. Interlock fingers behind you. Lift the heart. And then place your belly on your thigh. Look forward, more stable to go deeper. Left shoulder inside the knee. Look for your navel. Warrior two. Spin open. Reverse the warrior. Look for your back foot, left arm overhead. Is your back foot parallel? Are your toes nice and light? Should be able to lift them off of the floor. Extended side angle pose, left elbow on the quad. See all this space here? You're looking for a triangle. Reach through your right fingers. You're looking for the right hand. So the chin is a little lifted. If you did before, you can touch the mat with your left fingers. Maybe staying there or palm flat. I also have a block here if you wanted to use one for more lift. It's another option. We'll twist the other way. Right hand down, pivot back heel. Widen your front foot so you have hips width between the feet. Left arm up. Low twist pose. So you're counter twisting the right hip. Stay on the big toe edge of your right foot. In the fun way, keep the eyes lifted, more challenge. If you need more support, you can always look for the floor as you transition side plank, Vashisthasana. Spin outer edge of the right foot. Left foot stacks on the right. Modifications, cross the left foot in front. Or again, you can go right knee on the floor. If you don't need the modification, stack your ankles, left hip forward. Lots of core stability here. We'll lift your top leg if you want a little more. Maybe the left arm overhead. A little bit of balancing. Check out your left palm. Hips higher. And we'll plant the left palm down, high plank pose. Lower halfway. Inhale through a back bend. Exhale, down dog. And we'll run through that sequence just one more time. Right foot forward, back heel plants. Light on the feet as you step, arms up. Just to change it up a bit, hands together. Palms right above your heart. Interlock fingers behind you. Take a nice back bend. Exhale, fold. Humble warrior. Open up into warrior two. Palms flip skyward this time. Back foot 90. Reverse your warrior. Right arm overhead. And into extended side angle. Touch the floor or elbow thigh. If you wanted to this time, you could reach for a half bind, easier from this position. Or a full bind, right underarm in front of the knee, clasp hands. Maybe you grab that left wrist. Low twist, left hand down, right arm up. Right into side plank, eyes on the ceiling. Right ankle, left ankle. Lift your top leg, right arm overhead. Big breath here. High plank pose, vinyasa. Moving with the breath. Big inhale and exhale to your dog. Other side, last one. And we'll get into our headstands. See the thumbs above your sternum. Interlock fingers behind you, lift the heart. Look up, look back. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. And notice we're moving a little faster now. We know the postures, the sequence, building heat, palms up. Reverse warrior. Lunge a little deeper. Left elbow to the quadricep, right arm overhead. Easier from here. If you're binding, reach the inner thigh. If you want to go full, left underarm in front of the knee, you may have to stick your bottom out a little bit to reach your hands. Lean back. Into our low twist. Widen the front foot. Left arm in the air. Back heel, outer edge down. Eyes lifted as you stack the ankles. Left on the right, left hip forward. Lift your top leg, left arm over your ear. Nice. High plank pose. Vinyasa. And we'll drop into a child's pose before we continue with our headstands. Come back to your breath. Check in for a moment. Just a little reminder here, again, no expectation, just have some fun with the headstand. So we'll roll it on up, starting with our fundamentals, very basic. So first part is grabbing hold of opposite elbows. This is basic headstand Sirsasana. So this is the measurement that you want. Another angle. This is your measurement here. When you interlock the fingers, imagine that you had an egg between your palms. You don't want to smash it by bringing the palms together. This would also cock the wrists. You want your wrists straight. So you have a straight line from wrist to your elbow. That's the best alignment for safety of your joints. So I'll grab opposite elbows. I'm cupping my egg. I'm not going to smash it. I have some space between the palms here. You have to play around with finding the flat part or the crown of your head. So if you go too far back on the head, you will fall forward. If you go to your forehead, you're going to feel this a lot in your neck, and all of the body weight will go to the neck, which is not ideal. So finding that sweet spot on the crown of the head, grab opposite elbows, interlock fingers. You may have to play with it a few times. You can curl the toes and lift your hips, kind of like a down dog on your head. So this would be the first part. Maybe this is you here today. You can stay as you are. If that's too much, you can also just stay on the knees. Just kind of get used to this position here. It might feel a little funny at first. If you're feeling proficient here on the crown of your head and there's not too much weight on your head, is also how you know that you're in a good position. So think of this like a tripod, crown of the head and your two elbows. So once you feel nice and solid, you can start to walk your feet more forward. This will become easier with open hamstring. So hamstring stretches, super helpful. First part, if you're able to lift your feet off the floor, from there you can bend the heels towards your hips. So knees into your chest. So this was part 1. Part 2, the float. Part 3, lift and hover. Part 4, lift your knees. You can always have a wall behind you as well if this feels a little scary. And then part 5, the final variation is your headstand. So if you're stacking your joints properly, you won't feel very much weight on your head at all. So I'm pressing through the edges of my pinky fingers, through the forearms, through the elbows, and a little bit through the head. That's only about 30% of my weight in the head. You're using the arms so much and reaching the feet up. So notice my legs aren't just kind of hanging out here. Ball mounds of the big toes pressed together, squeeze and lift. And for some core strengthening, if you're pretty proficient here, you can start to work on piking. So lower one foot Spread the toes, hover off the floor. Lift the leg back in the air, switch legs. Nice to do on a wall as well, in case you feel like you're going to fall backwards. You can go both legs. That one's a little trickier. As many rounds as you got, really. So let's do 2 more for you. And maybe you're just holding your headstand if you're getting used to it and you're not able to move quite yet. Just showing one more round. Notice the feet. So if you're just watching the demo here, the toes are fanned out super wide. The feet are super important. When you are ready to lower, you can go 1 foot or both feet. If you're going both, notice the hips go way back as you fold forward. So alternatively, if you didn't have your hips back, what would happen is you'll come crashing down. I'll show you what it looks like. It's not pretty. So if the hips don't go back, I'm just going to fall down. So again, I'll show you the right way. Hips go back. Feels like you're sticking your butt out a little bit. And that's going to give you the space to fold down or even hold this L shape. Yes? All right, that's a lot. So review the first part. Grab elbows, interlock fingers, cup your egg, don't smash it. Walk the knees back, crown of the head on the floor. Curl the toes. If you want to take it further, you can stay here. If you're able to walk in, you can lift one leg and then the other. It's just a little different technique. Or if you're able to hover your feet, fold in, up, and lift. So that's basically our basic headstands, Hirsasana. And we also have tripod headstands. Some people prefer this actually to the other. It really depends on you. I personally don't have a preference. This one is more transitional. You can do crow and side crow, all kinds of fun things. So this would be step 1. Or you can even just start here and find the flat part of your head. Elbows hug in. Most common mistake is elbows too wide. So elbows in, maybe one knee to your tricep, and then the other side. So it's kind of like your triceps are steps. And if you can do both, it's very similar to crow pose, but with the crown of the head on the floor. Ball mounds of the big toes are squeezing together. From there, you just might be able to, just like the previous headstand, lift the knees and then unfold. You can do the same things here. Lower hover and lift. A little trickier in this one. You're really pressing through the palms. Fingers fan wide. So there's that. 2 options for headstand. There's all kinds of headstands actually. Another one would be a little trickier. Palms flat, fingers fan wide. You might be able to hover your feet. That's super hard. Just for fun, I'll show you. Lots of headstands. That's more from Ashtanga lineage. So going back to a little more headstand play for the basic, the first one that we did. I have a block here just so that you can find the measurement also. If you're able to keep that and remove your block, a little tricky. You can also interlock the fingers. So again, maybe you're here or here. And this takes some hamstring flexibility, so you might even be bending your knees with your heels lifted. So for the last part of this sequence, we'll work on some hamstring stretches. Go ahead and lower down. So you have your basics, try those at home. We'll bring it on back into down dog for some last deep stretching here. Belly to your thighs. Spread the fingers, take some breaths. Down dog is actually a really great hamstring stretch. Feet together, lift the right leg, bend the knee, open your hip. In order to loosen the hamstrings also, it's good to open your hips. So that first one, stretching the left hamstring. Now we'll get into your right hip. Couple breaths here, hips square. And if you're feeling this more in your right knee than your hip, you can lean to the right hip and even bend that back knee as a modification. If not, square your hips down. Another nice deep breath here. And we'll press back, switch sides, feet together. Lift the left leg up, bend the knee, open your hip. This is a really deep stretch for my right hamstring. So as you press the heel towards the floor, even if it's not touching yet, feel the right hamstring stretch and open. And then the counter stretch would be for your left hip. So again, if you're modifying for knees, that front shin can even go parallel with the front of the mat. Back knee bends and fold. Notice I'm leaning more towards my bent knee, my front knee. If your hips are fine, they're nice and square here. You can even extend your arms out or make a pillow with your hands. Back toes are straight. And really as long as you have to stay here. Hips the largest joint, usually the tightest in the body. We'll end with some seated hamstring stretches. Hands walk in. Right heel extends out, left foot in, arms overhead. And fold forward over the right leg. You may have to bend your knee. If you're not reaching the foot yet, you can bend the knee. The whole posterior chain of the body stretching here. And as you flex this right foot more, you'll feel it more in your right calf, right hamstring, all along the spine. So here the spine is curled. You can also extend the length of the leg for a little bit deeper hamstring stretch. Nice. We'll switch sides. Right foot in. Left leg opens. Square the shoulders over the leg, arms overhead, curl down and pull. Forehead to knee. Bending the knee as much as you need. So first the curled version. And then if you'd like to extend, and you're laying the upper body more or less more on the leg. Think chin to shin as opposed to forehead to knee for this one. Nice, we'll come back up. Right leg meets your left leg. Here we'll pull the fleshy part of your glutes out of the way so you're more on your sitting bones. Arms lift overhead. You can bend your knees for this and pull. If available over time, the legs work their way straighter. Nice hamstring stretch, working the calves as well, all along your spine. We'll end with just one. core strengthening exercise. So we'll bring the forearms down. Palms are flat, fingers fan wide. The legs will lift up. The ball mounds of the big toes are squeezing super hard, super tightly together, so much that you might even notice a little bit of shaking. So your legs might be shaking, your abs, lots of core stability. These are the kind of legs that you want to see in your headstand if you're extended. So legs straight, big toe ball mounds together, toes are fan wide. So this is called the floint. How you get there, point the feet and then just spread out your toes. So you're pressing through the ball mounds of the feet. So this is a flex, this is a point, and this is the floint. So somewhere in between there. There's a gap between the heels, the chest lifted. For some core stability, lower the legs halfway. Shaking means it's working. And we'll lower and hover 2 inches. Ooh. Shaking means it's working. Abs in. Bend the knees in. Lift the legs. And this won't feel like much if you're not squeezing the feet. So if you're not feeling it so much, squeeze the ball mounds of your big toes together. I assure you, you will feel something. We'll lower halfway, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift your chest, hover 2 inches. Let's do one more of those, just 3. Lift the legs, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If you're doing it right, you don't really need too many reps. We'll lower halfway, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hover 2 inches, squeeze. And then lie back. Give your knees a little bear hug. Just rock side to side. Awesome, lots of core strength. And we'll stretch it out. The counter postures, bridge pose, lift your hips, interlock fingers, press your palms together. If you can go a little further, wheel, rotate the arms back, first starting on the crown of your head. You can readjust the hands a little closer. Hands are shoulders width or wider. So if your shoulders are tight, you can go wider than the shoulders. Lift the hips. So now we're stretching out abdominal muscles, counter stretch to our core strengthening exercises. If you can go further, you can walk your hands and feet closer together. And then bring it down. When you do, super important, tuck your chin to your chest first. And slowly release. Happy baby. Rock side to side. A couple more hamstring stretches. Now that we're in a supine position on our backs, safest place or safest way to stretch your hamstrings. So first, we're in happy baby. We'll lower the left foot to the floor. So you just have your right foot in that happy baby position. Interlock the fingers and pull. This is more so for your hips. You can work that bottom leg straight. And from there, for your hamstrings, first part, straighten the right leg as far as it goes. Interlock fingers on your hamstring, calf, ankle, or heel. Doesn't matter how low the grip goes. If you feel like you're teetering side to side, rebend that bottom leg. Sole of the foot will keep you nice and planted. You can draw the right leg 6 inches right and then pull a little more. If you want to work that front heel forward, you can scoot your left heel forward. Maybe the leg will go straight all the way. If you're teetering, again, as much of a bend as you need. Pull, pull, pull. And from here, bend the knee. Left foot top right of the mat. Transition into a twist. You can work your right ear down. For more hamstrings, left hand grabs the outer right foot and you can extend forward. Hamstrings and IT band. You can also add a quad stretch, right hand for your left foot. More or less a passive stretch, so you're just breathing. The right foot is flexed. You can pull lightly with your left hand. And maybe your right knee is bent, and that's fine. No strain. One more breath here. And we'll release back to center as we started. So back to happy baby. Both feet. Pull. Lower the right foot this time, interlock fingers on the left sole of the foot. Pull your knee towards the floor. If available, you can work your bottom heel forward, maybe not even all the way. And even into the transition for this next one, maybe you want to keep your bottom knee bent. Interlock grip on your left hamstring, calf, ankle or heel. Notice I don't hold the knee for obvious reasons. I don't want to bend my own knee here. The leg as straight as possible. Pull, pull, pull. Left leg 6 inches left. Pull a little more. Notice more space is available there. And you can work your bottom leg as straight as it goes. You might notice one side is a little bendier than the other. Just observe. Another deep breath, pull. And then we'll work our way into a spinal twist. Right leg top left of the mat. So as you twist, that bottom leg will find its way to the center. Left ear down. You can bend the left arm at 90 degrees or straighten it out. Left shoulder down, left ear down, breathe. And then our added hamstring and IT stretch. Right hand grabs the outer edge or pinky toe side of your left foot. As much as you can straighten the leg, maybe there's a big bend, that's still okay. As long as you feel the stretch. Pull here, flex your left toes to intensify the stretch. Your bottom leg is also engaged, just like you're standing on your right foot. So the toes are flexed back. You're lengthening that left hip down. And again, a passive stretch so your face is relaxed. Should be easy to relax your facial muscles and breathe deeper. Not holding any tension. And we'll take another deep breath here. Perfect. Make your way back to center. One last little hamstring stretch. Legs up. This one's super hard. You'll pull on the backs of the legs. And you might feel like you're not really going super far, and that's okay. So you can grab hold of your hamstrings, your calves, your ankles, or your heels. The hard part is keeping the lower back on the floor as much as possible. It's just like a forward bend, but now you're on your back. If you want to go a little bit further, bring the legs wide apart, like a reclined straddle pose. Flex the feet, pull, pull, pull. And then we'll end with butterfly, soles of the feet on the floor. Knees wide, left hand on your lower belly, right hand on the heart. Close the eyes, take a deep breath in. And exhale through your mouth. One more time, inhale. Exhale the mouth. Deep breath in, hold it at the top. It's called kumbhaka, or the breathless state. Whenever you need to exhale, let it go. Awesome practice today. We'll straighten the legs out for our final resting shavasana, corpse pose. Take a few moments. Any last little movements that you need in your body to complete your practice. enjoy here. And take as much time as you need. Thanks for joining in today. Keep working on your headstands. Namaste.